Thanks for watching Endgame Economics. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. It's completely free for you, and it helps us continue making more videos like this.
Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the fascinating paradox of Germany's economy and psychology. We're totally dismantling that lazy stereotype of the flawless efficiency machine. Look, if you land in Germany expecting a place where the trains are always perfectly precise, the factories just hum like Rolex gears, and the economy is completely bulletproof, you might actually be in for a surprise. What we're really unpacking today is a nation shaped by a deep, structural fear of chaos. And once you understand that fear, everything from their housing habits to their energy debates just clicks into place. Understanding this isn't just about getting Germany. It's really about understanding the core engine of the European economy and how historical trauma literally shapes modern global markets. Let's get into it.
Okay, look at this stark contrast right here. On one side, we have the world's expectation of this terrifyingly organized, flawlessly efficient machine. But contrast that with the reality on the ground. A country that just recorded a second straight year of economic contraction, relies incredibly heavily on a stubbornly analog bureaucracy, and is dealing with a rapidly aging population. Germany is for sure still undeniably one of the world's great industrial powers, but right now, it's a society trying to keep an old, heavy economic engine running in a radically new, fast-paced world. And the friction between those two realities is absolutely palpable.
The urgency of this exact moment is perfectly captured in just a single number: negative 0.2%. Germany's real GDP contracted by 0.2% in 2024. Now, for a nation that prides itself on perpetual, rock-steady growth, this isn't just a minor financial dip, it is a massive psychological blow. When an economy built entirely on precision and stability starts struggling like this, the pressure rises incredibly fast, mainly because the national self-image and the actual economic reality start violently rubbing against each other. It forces us to ask a really difficult question. Why does a country so famous for its engineering excellence suddenly feel completely trapped?
All right, part one, the myth of the machine, confronting the stereotype. To figure out the root of this bottleneck, we have to look way past the surface-level economic symptoms and diagnose the deep psychological adaptations they built to survive historical trauma.
Picture this scenario for a second. Imagine you're standing in an empty crosswalk in Berlin. It's 7:12 a.m., no cars, no bikes. The street is utterly, completely empty. And yet, people are just standing there, waiting for the pedestrian light to turn green like they're in a hostage negotiation with the traffic system. It's a vivid, kind of funny metaphor, but it perfectly hits the nail on the head regarding how rules are treated in German society. They are literally never mere suggestions. They are fiercely guarded as the civilized line between order and total catastrophe.
Which brings us to our next section, engineered for total stability, the ghost of 1923. Because this intense need for order, it's not just some abstract preference for neatness. It's a highly rational defense mechanism.
Think back to the systemic collapse of their currency in 1923. People literally had to carry worthless money around in wheelbarrows and suitcases just to buy a single loaf of bread, with the value dropping by the hour. And then, the 1948 currency reform wiped out savers all over again. These events cast a very long, very dark shadow. It taught generations the hard way that when the financial system breaks, it breaks hard, wiping out your entire life savings overnight. So today, when you hear Germans passionately debating inflation or balanced budgets, it sounds exactly like an intergenerational trauma response. They aren't just protecting numbers on a spreadsheet, they are fiercely protecting the very reliability of their societal floor.
And this obsession with tangible stability birthed a totally unique cultural ideal, the Mittelstand. Now, these aren't just your average small businesses. We're talking about deeply embedded, family-owned companies, firmly rooted in their local regions, and completely obsessed with doing one very specific thing absurdly well. In Germany, you earn high status through quiet, methodical competence, not through loud, fast disruption. You don't brag about changing the whole world with some flashy new app. You brag about quietly improving a heady machine's tolerance by 0.3 millimeters, while employing 3 generations of the exact same local family. And this mindset undeniably anchors their whole identity on the global stage. Look at this. A staggering 19.9% of Germany's gross value added in 2024 still came entirely from manufacturing. That is a massive slice of the pie for a wealthy post-industrial country. This structural reliance means they are heavily dependent on global exports and incredibly sensitive to global geopolitical shifts. Making tangible things with bolts, heavy machinery, things that make other things, is absolutely central to proving their peaceful productivity to the world ever since the Second World War.
Let's shift gears to Trapped by Competence, the bureaucracy of caution. We're going to explore the sort of dark humor of their current situation and see how the exact same instinct that creates immense social trust is now causing massive, debilitating friction.
Now we absolutely must recognize that this incredibly layered bureaucracy was rationally designed by highly capable people for very good reasons. Rules create trust. Strict formalism limits arbitrary power and stops corruption. In a country with Germany's specific historical scars, preventing the loudest or richest person from just hijacking a process is absolutely crucial for protecting democracy. But collectively, every new, well-intentioned safeguard just keeps accumulating into a massive administrative maze. The end result is this crippling competence trap, where highly capable people are bogged down and slowed by the exact same machinery that was designed to protect them in the first place.
And the crucial takeaway here is that this procedural overgrowth isn't just a minor annoyance for regular folks filling out forms. It has a very real, massive price tag. The EPO Institute estimates this procedural drag costs Germany up to 146 billion euros a year in lost economic output. Literally 146 billion. When you're trying to digitize an analog public sector or just adapt to fast-moving global AI trends, this kind of bureaucratic latency doesn't just delay innovation, it actively penalizes it. To put that into perspective, 146 billion euros could entirely fund a massive nationwide digital and infrastructure overhaul. But instead, it's just lost entirely to paperwork and approval committees.
Moving right along to when reality hits, demographics and the energy paradox. The paradox deepens even further when Germany's carefully controlled, heavily planned transition policies violently collide with harsh global geopolitical realities.
Talk about absolute visual whiplash. The total collapse of their energy bargain forced an incredibly rapid, traumatizing pivot. In 2021, 52% of their gas came from Russia. By September 2022, right after the invasion of Ukraine, zero. Literally zero. Remember, Germany had already phased out its nuclear power for moral and safety reasons, a process that culminated in 2023, while they aggressively expanded renewables. They were heavily using cheap Russian gas as this supposedly reliable bridge to a green future. But when that bridge collapsed overnight, it brutally exposed exactly how vulnerable their ethically ambitious energy system really was to a fractured, unpredictable world.
And compounding all this massive industrial and energy stress is the harsh demographic math. In 2024, 1 in 5 people in Germany was already 67 or older. That is 20% of the entire population relying on a shrinking workforce. When a society ages this rapidly, the national mindset naturally shifts way further toward preservation and extreme caution. Older electorates typically prioritize stability, defending the existing pension systems and institutions, rather than supporting radical, potentially risky, future-focused reforms.
Which brings us to the final showdown. The Great German Trade-off. This is the ultimate clash between their historical operating system and the chaotic, fast-moving demands of the 21st century.
A country shaped by restraint now faces a world that is less restrained. That phrase just perfectly summarizes their core geopolitical dilemma. Germany's post-war identity is constitutionally bound, literally anchored by Article 1 of their basic law to protect human dignity. They built a national identity relying incredibly heavily on a multilateral, predictable, rules-based world order. But today, they're waking up to a global landscape that is increasingly fracturing, highly transactional, and honestly, pretty brutal. Their admirable moral restraint is being severely tested by a world that just no longer plays by the same binder of rules.
If there's one core takeaway you get from all of this, let it be this brilliantly distilled thought. Germany is a civilization uniquely organized around the prevention of breakdown. Their incredible economic success over the decades, their high institutional trust, the enduring power of their Mittelstand, but also their current crisis of economic confidence and that staggering 146 billion euro bureaucracy, every bit of it stems from the exact same defensive architecture. They built this incredibly intricate system to ensure the floor would never ever collapse again. So to survive without a civilizational breakdown in the modern era, they're staring down some immense structural hurdles. They've got to weigh defending their beloved Schwarzenegger, that strict constitutional commitment to a perfectly balanced budget, against the desperate, glaring need for modern infrastructure. They need to maintain a generous social contract, with government expenditure nearing half of their total GDP, while simultaneously integrating the skilled immigration necessary to actually support pensions for that rapidly aging population. Oh, and they have to do all of this while finally digitizing a stubbornly analog public sector. Essentially, they have to act much, much faster than their historical emotional comfort zone allows.
I want to leave you with a final, absolutely vital thought to chew on.
Adapting to the future is going to require Germany to learn unprecedented speed. They have to strip back some of that protective, comfortable, procedural overgrowth, all while desperately trying to preserve their historical conscience and social stability. So the real question is, can a nation built entirely to resist chaos evolve without becoming the very thing it fears? That right there is the ultimate test of the German paradox. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this has given you a completely new, nuanced lens to view one of the world's most complex and vital economies.